I apologize for the strange face. Anyway, I just watched Godzilla 2014. It's 3 a.m. now on Sunday. Sunday morning, Saturday night, 3 a.m. I'm very late to this. I didn't forget. I just thought that it's only two movies. I'll watch it tomorrow. I kept doing that for some reason. I don't know why I'm procrastinating watching movies. That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not an exam. It's not a coursework. I don't know why I'm procrastinating watching a movie. But because there's only two of them this week, I thought I'd just wait a little bit. But then I realized that it's Saturday night and I'm like, damn, I haven't started yet. So I thought I'd just watch this now. I'm going to an Arsenal game during the day as well, so had to watch this one now. I watched Godzilla on Sunday night, then it'll be up on Monday. This video, as usual, for Movie Monday. And yeah, welcome to Movie Monday, by the way. I'm talking a bit too fast here, stuttering too much, but yeah, I just watched Godzilla 2014. Yeah, it's very late, so I turned the volume up for that raw, for the intro, and I have neighbours. I live in a flat, and I have neighbours that way, down below, and up above. Hopefully no one's bedroom is above or below me. That'd be very helpful, because I did turn it up quite a bit. But anyway, yeah, so this movie does get a bit of hate, mainly for two reasons. First of all, not enough Godzilla, and second of all, apparently it's a bit too fat. For both those things, I understand it. I kind of understand it, to be fair. I get where they're coming from. He's a bit big, isn't he? Down below, especially, he's got a bit of a belly. But I think it still looks really cool. I think it looks badass. For me, him being big was one of the best parts about him. I was amazed by how big he could be, because I never watched the Toho movies before that. Never knew about them either. I mean, I knew about Godzilla movies, but I never saw a picture. I never watched any of them. The only one I saw was 98, who wasn't really Godzilla anyway. So yeah, the 2014 one was my first like proper look at a proper looking Godzilla. And for me, his size was one of the biggest things about it, one of the most impressive things. So yeah, I really liked him in the movie. And not enough Godzilla, I understand that too. In terms of like the monsters, I actually like, I didn't calculate it, I wrote down the times. 35 minutes in, the first Muto, the male Muto, the smaller one, 35 minutes into the movie, no monsters until then. You see photos and glimpses of Godzilla, I think, but you don't see any full monsters. But 35 minutes in is the first reveal. And then 59 minutes in is Godzilla. And then an hour and 5 minutes in is the second Muto, the bigger one. So it does take a while. And Godzilla himself, 59 minutes, and the movie's 2 hours long. So almost halfway through just to show Godzilla in its full form. So I get that. But for me, to defend that, I think the main reason is not because there wasn't enough Godzilla. It's also, I mean, it's not just because of that, but it's also because I feel the human characters were not interesting enough. I felt that was like the bigger flaw of the movie, rather than Godzilla himself not being in there. The human characters, Bryan Cranston's character was pretty cool while he was there, but they killed him off so early, and I just felt that was wasted, to be honest, because I think it would have been great to see him meet Godzilla somehow. I just think it would have been nice to see him for the rest of the movie. Even if he died anyway, I think the rest of the movie would have been nice, if he survived at least till the final battle. Apart from that, Dr. Serizawa, I like him. Looking forward to seeing him again in King of the Monsters. I do like the guy. Speaking of King of the Monsters, at the end of the movie, after the final battle, it's the morning. The family is reunited in the stadium. On the screen, it's saying there's a headline: Godzilla our savior ? Before that, the headline says King of the Monsters. So I'm wondering, is that where they got the title from? That's what I'm wondering. Then again, there was also a movie already called King of the Monsters, Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is the American remake of the original movie from Toho. So maybe they got it from there, but still, I think that's a pretty cool, like, I never noticed that before. So yeah, I looked at the screen and I was like, oh, it says King of the Monsters there in the first Godzilla movie. I think that's really cool, like, in a way, foreshadowing of the title of the next movie. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, like, I think, like, to defend Godzilla not being there even more, I feel that when he was there, even though it was like 8 minutes, I think, I'm pretty sure. I checked on YouTube, I think it was like 8 minutes. Maybe, I think it's under 10. for sure. I think when he was there, he made up for when he wasn't there, if that makes sense. I think when he was there, it was epic enough to make up for it. And for me, the final battle, to be honest, saved the movie. Like, if he didn't get a final battle, I think I might have agreed, to be honest. But I think he delivered at the end. I think the ending delivered. I just wanted more out of it, out the whole movie as a whole. So I understand people when people say not enough Godzilla. I get that, to be fair, because I wanted more as well, to be fair. But yeah, and the Mutos, when I first watched it, didn't really like them. I still don't really like them that much, to be honest. I do like them a bit more though now. They're alright. They're alright. They're not good looking monsters, but yeah, they're alright. They're a bit of a nuisance, to be honest, but I get why they're there. I get what they're doing. They're just trying to reproduce, pretty much, trying to populate, repopulate their species. I get all that. So yeah, I wonder what would happen though. Like, imagine if Godzilla failed, the military failed. What if they all hatched? I wonder, like, maybe King Ghidorah would have stopped the Mutos. Who knows? That's just a what if scenario. But yeah, they're all right. You know, I get why the Mutos are there, as I said, and I'm glad they were there actually, because we got to see Godzilla fight other monsters. Like, that's the best way to do Godzilla, in my opinion. He's obviously destroyed a lot of cities already, and I think it's better than a monster just destroying people. Instead of that, you get a monster fighting another monster. I just think that's better. So I'm glad the Mutos were there for Godzilla to fight them. So yeah, that was interesting. To be fair, they actually could have killed him. They could have killed Godzilla. I'm not sure if they can kill Godzilla, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he can die, but he seems pretty immortal, especially in Toho. But they were beating him down pretty badly, and it only stopped because the soldier, what's the name of the character? No idea. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, the main soldier of the movie, he blew up the baby's nest where they were gonna repopulate, obviously, and that got the mother distracted, and the father left as well. And yeah, if it wasn't for that bomb, you never know, they might have killed Godzilla. So that's pretty interesting to think about. But yeah, there's that. But I still enjoyed this movie. I really like it, actually. Really like it. I think it's done well enough. And yeah, I think just the main fault is the human characters. There's not enough interesting ones, to be honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to King of the Monsters a lot more. With King of the Monsters, Godzilla's screen time doesn't matter as much to me. I do still want to see more of him in that movie than in 2014, for sure. But I'm not too bothered about his screen time, to be honest with you, because this time I actually care about the other monsters. I care about Mothra, about Rodan, about King Ghidorah. So all four combined, as long as we get like all four of them for a decent amount of time, not at the same time necessarily, but as long as we get like a monster, one of those four monsters, for like at least 3/4 of the movie, I'm fine with that. Like, honestly, like, I don't mind seeing more King Ghidorah than Godzilla, because I actually care about King Ghidorah. I want to see what happens to King Ghidorah, to Mothra, to Rodan. Whereas the Mutos, I was just like, I just want Godzilla. I just want Godzilla. But yeah, there we go. The Mutos are just there. They're just there to be there. They have a purpose, but they're not that likable. But the monsters in King Godzilla 2, they're actually likable. They're actually interesting, more interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to King of the Monsters. It's a bit crowded as well. There's 4 plus at least another 2 more. There's probably another one. Who knows? I'm pretty sure there's a website actually. Legendary got a website up where you can track where Godzilla is in the movie universe, obviously. Last time I checked the website, Godzilla was near South America, I think, for some reason. No idea. And also, because it's like a global map, on the map there's a lot of outposts, and I'm pretty sure there's more than 5 or 6. There's quite a lot of outposts across the world, and in each place there's a monster. So there's one on Skull Island where Kong is. There's one in I think there's one in Japan. There's one in Mexico, which I'm pretty sure is Rodan. Yeah, I can't remember all the location. Yeah, there's one in Germany, and Germany's the thing that's getting up in the trailer, that big mountain thing, whatever it is. It could be Anguirus. I hope it's Anguirus. That thing's in Germany. And there's different locations and stuff. So I don't know. I think there might be more than 6, but I feel like the 4 monsters that we know of, the 4 main monsters, they'll be the ones part of the story. I think the other ones will just be like there for cameos, pretty much. There for like 1 or 2 minutes. Maybe Godzilla kills a couple of them. I have no idea. Or maybe that's the end of the movie. Maybe the end of the movie is when someone wins, obviously, and obviously Godzilla will still be alive. But I think maybe at the end they show all the monsters finally getting up, and maybe you see Kong as well. Maybe that's it. I have no idea. And maybe the actual monsters that we see in this movie will be in Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know how it could work, but yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. It's still a long way to go. I'm going to watch Kong Skull Island when I wake up. Actually, not when I wake up. When I go out and come back, I'll probably watch the movie, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on that as well. That'll be a bit shorter as well. Alright, so before we talk about Kong Skull Island, we have done it. We have done it. 38 Godzilla movies. There was 38 in total. 32 Toho, plus 4 remakes, so that's 36, plus 1998, which, I mean, it's not really Godzilla, is it? But it's still a Godzilla movie, technically. And 2014, that's 38, all 38 movies. That's the biggest marathon I've done for movies anyway. I've done a long marathon for TV shows like Game of Thrones. I watched like 6 seasons in like a week. Walking Dead as well, 6 seasons in like a week. But that's TV shows. In terms of movies, the biggest thing I've done before this is the MCU. I've watched all of them before Infinity War. So yeah, there's that. I'm not doing that again this year though, before Endgame. This year I'm just going in after Captain Marvel. But anyway, yeah. By the way, for future episodes of Movie Monday, in the next few months it will be mainly superhero focused because of Avengers Endgame and X-Men Dark Phoenix, and that points to the next marathon. The next marathon will be the X-Men movies, so the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the 3 Wolverine movies. No Deadpool, because he's not linked. I mean, he's still in the same universe, but he's not linked to the rest of the X-Men. So, but yeah, my next marathon will be the X-Men. And I will make some videos on Infinity War, Infinity War and Endgame as well. And I'll probably make some videos after Endgame is done, whether it's good or bad. I'll probably make videos on it. Like, I'll make videos on Endgame, probably like a couple of them. And I want to make some videos on the DCEU as well. I want to make videos on the DC movies as well. So you'll see some of those, like one-off videos basically. But for like a series, the next one will be X-Men. I've got a few planned, but I'm not going to say what the other marathons are because it might be like 2020 by the time I get to them. So I'm just not going to say them now in case like it's way too premature to like say things that I'll do like next year. And yeah, if I ever run out of these marathons and current movies, I've got an idea for how to keep going with this for probably years actually. Basically, I've got a long list of movies on my phone. On my phone, I list down movies that get recommended and movies that people talk about that I haven't seen pretty much. And it's a really long list. Like, I got some examples here. Hold on a second. I got the list here. Right, at the top, there's Mowgli, Watchmen, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Get Out. Okay, those are just 4 examples. I'm not going to name it's a long list, okay? Basically, I have a long list of movies. So I would do a series where I just watch them. Not like a marathon, but I'd watch like at least 2, up to 4 per week. And put them out as like reviewing each one. So basically reviewing old movies. I don't know what I'd call the series. I'm thinking of a good name for the series, but that would be the plan for the future. If it comes to me not being able to do any more marathons, any more series specifically. But I might do some of these early anyway, because I want to watch these as well. But I'm not in a rush to watch them. And it's mainly movies I haven't seen as well. It's mainly movies I haven't seen, but it's also movies that I have seen that I want to see again as well. There's a thing on that list as well. Anyway, I've been talking too much about not Godzilla or Kong. This part is going to be pretty short. It's about Kong Skull Island. I think they did this movie better than Godzilla 2014. I prefer Godzilla 2014. I prefer that movie, but I think they did this one better in terms of the action of monsters. I really think they really did this one well. They showed Kong's face in the first scene. It took until like half an hour to show Kong in full, so a lot quicker than Godzilla. This is about the same length. It's shorter than Godzilla 2014, but yeah, I think Kong has a couple more minutes of scenes. He has a bit more than Godzilla, not that much more, but you wouldn't think it because it seems like he's got a lot more than Godzilla, but it's only like a couple minutes actually. I think so, apparently, anyway. But I think like it's not always about how much monsters are in there. It's also about how it's just presented to us, and I think Kong, they showed him at the right times, and I think they did it really well. I love the camera angles, the slow motion, the way it's filmed. And yeah, I just enjoy it. And obviously there's like a uncharted island. There's lots of creatures. There's wait, I've got a list down here. There's a giant buffalo. I think it's a buffalo. Whatever those things are, there's like 2 or 3 of them on the island. Obviously we know that because one, I thought there was one at first, but I saw one dead, then I saw another one alive, so there's more than one of those. There's that giant spider, which is really scary. There's that giant octopus as well. We never saw the head of that thing, just the tentacles, but still, that's pretty cool. Giant octopus not in the ocean, in the water. There was that big mantis thing, that wooden thing that got up, and those crazy birds that were not that big, but they're pretty crazy. They can rip you apart. They literally did rip someone apart in the movie as well. And there was also a reference to giant ants making noises. We didn't see them, but I would have liked to see a big ant in the movie. Like, since they mentioned it, I would have liked to at least seen one. But yeah, in terms of human characters, this movie had the same problem as Godzilla 2014. They're not interesting enough, to be honest. Apart from the pilot who crashed. The guy on the island who explains to them who the Skullcrawlers are. That guy's pretty cool. I kind of like him, and I like the ending as well, where they showed him meeting his wife after 30 years of being trapped on the island. So I think that's a very nice touch. I think that character was pretty cool, and also Samuel Jackson's character was funny. I liked him because he was funny. It's just the way he was so angry at Kong because he lost all his men. There's something funny about it, and I think just because he makes me laugh, I like that character. Rest of the characters, not so much, to be honest, but I do like how they set up the story and how they set up this universe even more, and it's just awesome. It makes me wonder though, because there's such a thick storm, it makes me wonder, like, can Kong get through that? And if he can't, how does he get out of that? Because I'm pretty sure he will leave Skull Island. I don't think the whole movie is going to be in 2020. I don't think it's going to be the whole thing in Skull Island. I think I watched it. I've seen some videos recently. There was a theory that Godzilla goes to Skull Island to search for something massive that's not Kong. He goes there to search for some giant monster, whatever it is, and instead he finds Kong. And Kong looks at him and sees an intruder on his territory, so he fights Godzilla. That's a theory of how the fight could start, because Kong and Godzilla, they're in this universe especially, they're both good guys. I mean, they cause destruction for sure. They are monsters after all, but they're heroes. They're the heroes of the story. There's got to be a reason why they'll fight each other. It might be just about dominance. It might be just about dominance, to be fair, but still, it would make sense if Godzilla goes there first, and then Kong sees him as an intruder trying to destroy his land or whatever. But yeah, this is basically about a guy from Monarch who wants to prove that monsters are real. Because if they can't prove it, then they get shut down pretty much. So they go to Skull Island, they take a military team, and most of them get taken out by Kong. That was a really cool, like, entrance. I love the way he looked in this movie. He's just so big. It's just so damn good. I cannot wait to see him fight Godzilla. Pretty sure he'll be like a lot bigger as well, because he's still young in this movie. I wonder how old he is, to be honest. I wonder how old he is, because he was in the 70s, right, or the 80s, that movie. So a few decades. I guess he could grow a lot in those few decades. Although, by the way, I talked about the other monsters, the Skullcrawlers. I like the Skullcrawlers. I really like them. I enjoy watching these Skullcrawlers. They're very ugly, uglier than the Mutos, to be honest. But when there's an antagonist monster, you want it to be scary. You want it to, and it looked creepy. It moved creepy. It looked damn scary. It had traits of like a skeleton creature, had a snake sort of tongue. It looked freaky. It looked like something from a nightmare. And I think because you want it to be scary. If it's supposed to be the antagonist to the hero, it's meant to be scary. And these skull crawlers, they look menacing and scary. I like the way they did it. I like them a lot more than the Mutos, definitely. Especially the big one is just crazy. The big one is just unbelievable. But yeah, I enjoy this movie. I enjoy watching. I enjoyed watching these two movies back. They've been very enjoyable. So yeah, that's about it really. On to the Monsterverse next year. Now obviously Godzilla vs Kong is next year. I might do a marathon where, actually I mentioned how I'm not going to say what they are, but I'm going to say what this one is. I might eventually do one where I watch Kong movies. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I got recommended a few recently. One was like Son of King Kong, something like that. I got recommended like 4 movies I think related to Kong. I think some of them, at least a couple of them are anyway. But I checked on IMDb and there's quite a few King Kong movies, so I might watch through those sometime next year. Although it does come out in March next year. It got moved up. It got pushed up by 2 months. I know it got pushed up because of Fast and Furious to avoid competition, but if you're, regardless of the reasons, if you're going to move a movie 2 months forward, you're probably confident. So that is good news. Like, if they're that confident in their movie that they're pushing it forward by 2 months, it's probably ahead of schedule, and it's probably likely to be something really good. I hope it is anyway. I hope King of the Monsters is good. It's just looking good. I love the tease, by the way. I love it. I love crossovers, so I love it when movies connect to another movie. And this one, the after credits scene, they talk about other kings. Kong's not the only king. They show it's just pictures, but still they show Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, King Ghidorah in that order. And then they show King Ghidorah fighting Godzilla, which means they've obviously fought before, which we already know, of course. So that is an amazing tease. It's just a great connection. And yeah, King of the Monsters is just a few months away. 3 months seems like a long time. But before that, I've got Captain Marvel, Shazam, Game of Thrones final season, and Endgame. I've got Endgame as well. And I'll probably watch that at least like a few times, assuming I like it, which I probably will. So after Endgame, a month after that is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So I got things to look forward to before that. And hopefully these 3 months fly by, because I want to see King of the Monsters so much. After Endgame though, I want to see Endgame first and foremost. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this marathon. Next week will either be Infinity War / Endgame related, or it will be the X-Men marathon. One of the two. Either way, the X-Men movie comes out in June and Endgame comes out in April. But I don't know yet how many videos I make on Endgame yet, so we'll see. But the X-Men marathon should be done before June when it comes out. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, it's Monday morning, 4:37 AM. Good luck to me. This should be up by 10 AM UK time, which is what I always go for most of my uploads. Non-AFL ones anyway. So yeah, this should be up on time, but I will definitely not be up for a while. What I'm planning to do is just sleep through my alarms. No alarms for Monday. Just no alarms. Just gonna sleep. I'll probably wake up at like 4 or 5 in the evening, which is not good. But I'll probably do it all night on Tuesday. Then I should fix my sleeping pattern by then. By Thursday. I guess we'll see. This was your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Actually, no, I'm going to an Arsenal game on Wednesday, so I can't do that. Whatever. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.